There we go, a nice clean start, both crews getting away. And it looks quite aggressive blade work to me, James, in the barge crew on the right of our screen.
Yeah, they're certainly leaving nothing in the tank off the start, and that's, don't want to stereotype the American way of racing, but they're full bore from the start. The London crew look a little bit sharper. They're giving away power per man, but we'll see when they both settle into their rhythm what that's going to lead to.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing that I guess when you're saying that's efficiency that we might get from the London crew as opposed to that raw power that we might get from the American crew in front of us.
Yeah, I think with a bigger, stronger, heavier crew, the top speed may be greater, but the reality is it's going to be a six-minute race, 6.5-minute race today, and you're going to need an efficient through the middle, and that's when the barge crew's ahead at the moment, but the London Royal Regatta crew, I think, will sort of use their efficiency in the middle of the race.
Yeah, like you say, James, this race at Henley, normally these crews are used to racing 2,000 metres. It's 2,112 metres here, plus it's upstream, plus it's upwind, so that could be getting up to, like you say, over 6.5 minutes, maybe 6:40. That's a whole minute longer than they're used to, and we'll have to see if this crew from University Barge Club pay for that early pace.
And the reality is, though, it's not only a minute longer. If you're behind, it feels way longer because
yeah.
It's head-to-head, and if the other crew's out of your peripheral vision, you're rowing in nothing, and so it's a very one-on-one battle. It's very different to multi-lane racing, and
yeah,
these London Rowing Club boys are going to be feeling it now because, pretty much all of them, there's no crew in their peripheral vision. The only thing they can see is the bounce and the wash of the puddles in front, and
yeah, it looks like University Barge have got that little bit of clear water, haven't they? So they're trying to see off London Rowing Club. London Rowing Club are going to have to be pretty gutsy now to try and hang on.
And that's what makes rowing a great sport, but almost the opposite to track and field, when if you're setting the pace in a 5,000 metre race, you sit on the runner shoulder in the lead and you can pressurise them. Here, if you sit on them, you can see what they're doing and they know you're ahead, and you're leaning on them in a one-on-one battle. That's what they're going to be doing. It's up to London guys to just stick together and put all their training into practice. This is the highlight of their year, and you don't want to go out on the Wednesday.
No, you certainly don't. And I think this, like you say, this University Barge crew have just managed to get that early pace. They've kept the speed, and they're hopefully keeping out of sight of London Rowing Club. Doesn't look like they've made a huge move on them. They're just doing enough to stay in front.
You're right, Greg. That's all you need to do. You don't need to make the race fast that it needs to be. As long as you're staying out of sight, you're just continuing to lean on them, and that's just means there's going to be more tension creeping into the London crew. They've trained for this all year, and they don't want to go out first round on the Wednesday. So, knowing they're in a negative position, the important thing is for them to relax rather than get tense.
And this Thames crew from University Barge Club, it bears a striking resemblance to the crew that made the semi-finals of the Thames Cup in 2015, and then they lost out to Thames Rowing Club when they took home the Thames Cup so memorably last year. So this crew have come back, many of them the same from University Barge Club, wanting to make sure they can go a couple of places better this year.
And what makes Henley special, it's so unique. So the guys will have learned so much from last year. It's a very different atmosphere. The crowd's very close compared to other races. There's so much other boats, drinking going on around it. It makes you have to really focus on it, and you can spend all your time looking out at the boat rather than focusing on your racing. And last year they may have looked around, whereas this year they know what they're here for.
Yeah, that's right, isn't it? It's an experience thing, isn't it? When you come here, you've experienced it, you know what to do. What were you like, James? Were you going to be focused straight down the boat, or did you tend to get your head out and enjoy the day?
The first year I did the Princess Elizabeth, it was we raced an American crew, and we were a length down at halfway, and then came through and beat them. And it was the perfect way to start Henley. The second day, you kicked my butt by about 3 lengths, so it was terrible.
Yeah. I hadn't actually remembered that.
Oh, yeah.
That was your first Henley. I mean, to me, I remember I used to be really focused, and I remember trying to just think about nothing and cut out all the distractions until I actually got into racing the single. And remember when I got into single, I had to be much more aware because I had to steer the boat myself, I had to think of the race plan myself. And I think that actually made me a better athlete, to not just be a machine, but to actually think about what I was doing a bit more.
I think I have never really raced a single. It's so much more difficult to motivate, to keep yourself focused compared to a crew boat, but you're in the Princess Elizabeth, the schoolboy eights, that you were one of the favourites, whereas our school we only had 8 people, so in the first 8, so the pressure on us was slightly less, whereas you had to not only win every race but get through the first round with as little energy expended as possible, which is exactly what the Barge boys do now, because they've got to race again tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. The Barge crew here look like they've settled into a really nice, strong and relaxed kind of rhythm, that they know they've pretty much got this one unless anything goes terribly wrong, and they're moving smoothly down. Again, this event has 32 entries, so they've got to race all 5 days if you're going to go the whole way through. So you want to make sure I think they've done this exactly right, to blast out, get hold of a good lead, and then control that.
And this is London Rowing Club's A crew, and London Rowing Club is one of the oldest rowing clubs in Britain with a proud history, and this isn't how they'll want their challenge in the Thames Cup to go. They'll have prepared for this all year, and it'll be a frustrating way for them. If you're going to go out on day one, you want to be in a close race.
Yeah, certainly. We saw the London Rowing Club B crew earlier, and they looked impressive winners. So interesting to think what's ended up quite happening here within London Rowing Club. So you can see the water looks pretty calm. That headwind's really not a big deal. It's flapping the flags enough that the rowers will know about it, but it's certainly not disturbing the water. As you see, a real clean blade work from the University Barge Club in the USA. It's a boat club from Philadelphia, founded in 1854, an amateur club with club rowers, which is a rare feature in the US. And they're enjoying the applause now as they come down in front of the floating grandstand, that 2-deck grandstand you see just on the finish line, where you get a fantastic view right down the Henley course. And they're in control now, coming towards the line. So, University Barge Club from the USA go across the line with a clear lead ahead of London Rowing Club A. And that'll be very disappointing for London to see their A crew going out in the first round of the Thames Cup, as we see congratulations coming from University Barge. And the traditional 3 cheers and confirmation there of the Thames Cup, a win for University Barge Club ahead of London Rowing Club.